Welcome, 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 man. This is Alterri Henry, man. And you at the Godcast, man, where we gonna tell it like it is, man. We're gonna hurt your feelings to help your life, man. And we want to talk today on when will you learn, man. We're gonna be talking today on relationships. Relationships is everything, man. It's been said, the old people always have told us the greatest thing you'll ever do in life, it is not gonna be a job, it is not gonna be your house, it's not gonna be any of those things. The greatest thing you're going to do in life is going to be the spouse or the person that you decide to bear your family with, put your brink of your life with. That's going to be the greatest thing you're going to do, the decision. Because guess what? There's two things that a woman, speaking to you men, can do for you, and two things that a man can do for a woman. They can do one or two things. They can increase your life dramatically and take you to the top, or they can destroy your life permanently. They can shoot you straight through the moon, or they can destroy your life. That's biblically. They'll take you up or take you down. There's no in between, So a lot of women get caught up in the stage of where it's, well, I know he got some problems, but we're gonna figure it out, or I'm gonna just support him, and it's gonna get better. No, if you met him when you met him he was a bum, then 9 out of 10 he gonna continue being a bum. You can't fix his problem. He have to fix his own problem. So what I will say, just like he can't fix your problems, you got to fix your own problems. So what I will say is that when we dealing with who we're going to pick as a person that we're going to date, be very, very, very intentional with who you're going to deal with. Like, for instance, my pastor growing up used to tell us that when you pray exactly for what you want. Make a list. I want him to be 6 foot tall. I want him to have six figures, yada, yada, yada. Make your list. Now, he may not meet all the requirements on your list, but at least if he can meet 60, 70%, you already got more than you got before. You gotta really take your time and think about it. Another thing that happened is he said, take your piece of paper and draw a line down the middle about yourself, because a lot of us want that 80% man, but we don't even require ourselves to have 80%. I notice that with a lot of women, they want this man. They say, well, I want a man like you. I want a man that make all this money, got this, got cars, got houses and all that. But biblically, you don't even fit the criteria of that man yourself. You want me, but my credit is good, but your credit is bad. You want me, but my kids is under subjection and everybody is doing well and this and that, and your kids is cursing and twerking. So it's like you want a certain type of man or you want a certain type of woman, but your life don't even pattern what you're asking for your own self. It's kind of like you have to learn to equal what you attract. I mean, if you want to attract something, you need to equal that. I mean, you want this type of man that's going to be in, just say you want a good man, and you want him to serve God and honor God and this and that, but yet you don't even go to church faithfully. You're not even faithful in the church house. You ask you when the last time you went to church. I went 2 weeks ago. Or even ask you something even greater than that. Forget just going to a church building. When the last time you prayed? When the last time you fast for God? When the last time you went feed the homeless or did something for the people? Like, when is the last time you did something honoring your vows to God? We always want more than what we can shell out our own self. It's kind of like women, they want to go out to these fancy dinners. They want you to take them to Steak 48 or the Root Chris and this and that. And they know good and well they can't afford to take me out on them same places. So we want somebody to give us, to be a giver and not a taker. In everything in life, you want to be a giver and not a taker. The Bible speaks clearly about giving and you shall receive. It never said take and you shall receive. It said give and you shall receive. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, where they give into your bosom. Now, I'm going to tell you, I done been with my share of women in my lifetime. Okay? The women who received the most from me is the ones who didn't ask for anything. I've bought houses. I've put people in cars. Call it what you want. He tricking. No, you're not tricking if you got it. You know what I'm saying? So I done did it all. So the bottom line is that when I was out there in the streets doing what I had to do, I did my part. But the women also they played a major part too. They did their part. It wasn't just given to somebody. Like I tell my sons, I say, man, the people that you got to deal with now at your age, man, I don't know how I would make it at your age, because the women that we dated when I was coming up is different than the women y'all date. The women y'all date don't know how to cook. They don't clean nothing. They dirty. They children is all out of whack, cursing, twerking, wearing their pants sagging. I mean, these are the children now of these people that's raising. How do you take care of your women? Okay, let me go into detail with you. Something that really, really, really bothers me. Women, I watched this Pop the Balloon show, 20 versus 1 and all that. And women act like you're supposed to treat them like a wife when they're not a wife. I mean, you're not my wife, so why in the world should I be paying 100% of anything? Why should I even be paying 50% of anything if you're not my wife? Now, a wife, I'll speak for my own self. Been married 22 years. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but my wife ain't never worked and don't want for nothing. So if you're gonna have a wife and you're gonna operate under a wife category, then you can have all of that. We're gonna buy you the house. We're gonna take you on vacations. Like I just was telling my staff right here, we got a beach house in Destin. I got other places. Like we're gonna live the dream. But that's a wife, not a girlfriend. I've had girlfriends. Like I said, I'll put you in a car and I'll do some few things and we'll give you some money, but we're not gonna be buying houses and all this other stuff as a girlfriend. No, we're gonna have to tie the knot, figure out what we're gonna do, and take it to the next level as a girlfriend that's transitioning to a wife. Even as a girlfriend that transitioned to a fiance. We're a fiance, okay? Great. As a fiance, we're not going to act like you're the wife. You're a fiance. So we're going to take it up. So as a girlfriend, if I was doing 30% with you, as a fiance, I may do 60%. But you're not going to get the 100% as the wife gets, okay? We're taking it up to the level. Now, I'm old school too. I don't believe in the prenups and all that. We believe in get your trust funds and setting everything up and all that. Engagement. Let's talk about engagement. Engagement is very important. I just talked to a guy just now on the phone that want to set up a trust fund. Now he's putting let me phrase it. He's putting his girlfriend of 27 years over his trust fund. Don't make sense to me. I asked him a question. Why don't you want to marry her? He said, well, we don't believe in the traditional system. It doesn't matter what you believe in. You was born in America, you live in America, you under American rules, but you want to operate as if you're in a foreign land. It don't make sense to me. It's stupidity. Me personally, now somebody asked me how long should the engagement last or how long. Me personally, like I said, once again, I'm old school. I done seen people that was engaged for 3 months and been married for 30 years. Now, my personal opinion, if you ask me, Terry, what's your personal opinion? I think engagement should be at least a year. That's me. At least 1 year worth of engagement. You should be engaged because you need to know the person. There are several things locally, I would say, what you should be married a year. Reason why I say a year, because it's going to take you time to go marriage counseling. I think you need to go to marriage counseling. You need to know what their credit is. You need to know how they act in the middle of a trial. People don't even know. Speaking of engagement, just like having a best friend, people don't even know how a person gonna act when y'all argue. Y'all just moving in together. Y'all have never had an argument, and now when y'all have an argument, now y'all ready to divorce already. Like, you need to know what it's like to argue with that person. You might have to create something, a small scenario, to create something to see how that person may go in on you. Now, you're talking about marrying somebody, but that person may go completely in on you. Others asking me, how long should you date? Okay, I don't know. You date until you figure out that's the person. I mean, I've dated several women, and I want y'all women to really understand this. I want to get a little deep with you on this, okay? I dated several women in my past that I knew 1,000% I wasn't going to marry. This was before I knew I wasn't going to marry you. Now, I may have strung you along like a lot of these men are doing, you sisters, and y'all just wondering why he won't ask you to marry you. He ain't marrying you. He don't want to marry you. He's not interested in marrying you. He just want to have sex with you because you got good sex, you may cook good, you may be a good woman, yada, 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 but he knows he don't want to marry you. Trust me. When I met my wife, I was already in a relationship with somebody, okay? But I instantly knew that was my wife coming out the post office. How? I don't know. God had already showed me who she was. So a man, when he meets his rib, when he meets his party that God got for him, he already knows. Now, he may not cross that bridge. He may not get that far with her, but he already know that's his wife and where they're going. Trust me when I tell you this. I've heard several men over the years that say, man, I knew that was my wife. Now, she may not know, but he knows who he wants to marry. And he knows. He done dated enough women to know that these women don't fit the mold. This women do. You know, we got to pay bills, man, but y'all tune in. We coming right back to you, baby. Welcome, 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 baby. We back again. This is part two. I wanted to say that, a lot of people have been asking me, they've been dating for a while. They've been dating for a while, and for some reason, the person don't want to marry them. Like I said, everybody don't want to marry you. Some women don't want to marry you. They are comfortable with you. You make them feel good. You're comfortable. Maybe the sex is good, whatever, whatever, whatever. But they don't want to marry you. They're not interested in marrying you. They're not interested in tying their life together with you for the rest of your life. But they're comfortable. I've been there. Trust me. I've been there with females that I was comfortable with. The sex was the bomb, but I knew good and God doggone well I don't want to be married to this heifer. So I was like, man, I'm stuck because of the situation that I like, but I knew she wasn't wife material. So I felt stuck. And then too, a lot of us just don't want to start over from scratch. It's like, man, I gotta meet somebody again. I gotta meet the family. Man, I gotta start over. I gotta go to this dating process. And like me, I don't like to start over from scratch. I like to look. If I meet a new woman, I want to start at freaking 8. You know, I come in paying some bills. I come in doing whatever, but I don't want to start from scratch. Now we got to start over from the very bottom. No, no. People with money, I'm gonna tell you now, women, y'all want these men with money. I'm gonna tell you, I've been having money since I was 21. We got a series coming out. I made my first $1 million at 22 years old. So I always been spoiling myself, meaning that it's things I'm not gonna tolerate. People with money don't tolerate a lot. The men that's broke will tolerate a whole lot. Trust me. Everybody wants these 6 and 7 figure men. Trust me when I tell you, we are very, very, very hard to deal with. I'm telling you, it's very, very hard. I don't care if you're a Christian, it's very hard to deal with. Meaning that we are good men. I'm not saying we're not good men, but it's certain things that we desire from women that you may not be willing to do, that we have so many women coming at us like darts that we're turning away for you, that, you know, it would probably be in your best interest just to do it, because otherwise he'll find somebody else to do it. I'm just telling you from experience of growing up into having money. Everybody wants somebody with money. Everybody wants somebody. I talk to so many people, man, counseling them, and man, it's crazy at how many people want a man with money. What they don't realize is that men with money come with a lot of vices. They come with a lot. They are spoiled. Some of them are narcissistic. Thank God I'm neither one, but I have spoiled myself. I don't know what the price of food is. I just buy it. I don't know, and I come from a mom with 8 kids, no daddy, in the ghettos. But when you start making a certain amount of money for a long time, you kind of get distant from the regular world where people are trying to see the price of gas is 2 cents or less. I don't know what the price of gas is. All I know is I have to put gas. I don't know what the price of food is. All I know is I have to put food. So, people, you coming into their life. I had a saying, and this may sound bad, but I'm just keeping it real. When I would date women, I would tell them, you're living my life. Because now I done took them from here, and I done put them all the way up here. If you had you a Toyota Corolla, now I'm putting you in a Benz. You had you an apartment, now I'm helping you get into a house. You had bad credit, I'm fixing your credit. So I'm elevating you. You're doing things, but at the same time, you're living my life, because most people, men and women, when they get around people like us, they get lackadaisical and comfortable in the lifestyle they're living. They don't learn nothing. So now when we break up and I pull myself away, you don't know how to maintain what you had, because you got so comfortable in getting the stuff that you never learned how to maintain it or how to get it for yourself. And that's the problem I see with a lot of people I counsel, is that they got these rich boyfriends, whatever. All you got to do is look online and see. They dating ball players, they dating this person, that person. And when the person leave, unless you're going to hit them for child support for a baby, like they leave and you go straight down to the bottom. So because you didn't know how to maintain. I took you from $1,000 a month, $1,200 a month apartment and put you in a condo for $2,600. Now I didn't elevated your life, but I didn't elevate your mind because you got so used to living off of me. And so a lot of people, when you're dealing with 6 and 7 figure men, is we have a lot of stuff going on, man. I have so much. Y'all watch my page. I have so much going on that now your dreams and your visions a lot of time is no longer your dreams and your visions. Your dreams and your visions become my dream and my vision because I got so much going on and I can pay you more money. Now you forget what you're doing and you become a part of what I'm doing. So that's another thing you got to think about with getting a high dollar man. You're better off probably getting somebody on your level and y'all coming up together, because when you get somebody, that's let's say a 10 in your eyesight with money and living a certain lifestyle, then everything that you got going on probably going to take second place to what they got going on. We got rental houses. I got a beach house. I may need you to fly to Florida and go make sure the beach house is done. I may need you to go pick up some money for me in Wyoming. I don't know what I got, but I got so much going on that, you probably gonna, your dreams and your visions is gonna probably decrease. Now, some women love it. If you're a kept woman and you want a man to take care of you, then you're gonna decrease and you're just gonna be a stay-at-home mom. But what does a woman need a 10 for? Why? What's wrong with a 6? And I ask that question because if you're a 6 or 7, your own self, your credit is not good. You don't really have no major money. You don't have nothing. So why not find somebody on the same level with you? I never understood this. Why? And why is it dating down for women when you date somebody that's supposedly beneath you? But when we date women, I've dated every woman I ever dated. I dated down, if you want to say that. How come we don't say dating down? I've never dated a woman that had money like me. I told you I was selling drugs at a young age. I had a bunch of money and cars and buildings and everything. So how come we don't consider it dating down, but y'all consider it dating down? That's a question that I'm asking because I want to know that. Like, how are you? And I'm not down on nobody because I want to give you the solution to the problem. But the problem is that, you're going to reap what you sow. You got to remember, you're treating men that is trying. You got to remember something. Let me say this loud and clear. I was once that man. I didn't know my way. I was 17, 18, 16. I'm looking for jobs. I'm all downtown. I'm on the bus line. I didn't know my way. I ran into, this is the funniest story, but about a week ago, I ran into a girl that I grew up with, and I used to date her cousin. And her cousin, we dated for 6.5 years, like my first girlfriend. And her cousin, they see me, they watch me on live now. They see me all over the internet. They see how I'm living. And her cousin was crying. They was talking, and her cousin was like, man, man, my life would have been so much better. Now, she done went through 2 husbands already. She got children. Life is not good. And she like, man. Now, remind you, 6.5 years ago, she broke up with me because I'm supposedly was a bad boy. I was a bad boy, and she wound up marrying this dude from the same church who was supposed to be a little preacher, and she thought life was going to be good. Well, all he did was beat her half to death the time that she was married, gave her 2 children, and then left her for another woman. So we look at some of these dudes and consider them bad boys or consider them number 6 or 5, and you don't know where that person is going to be in the next 10 years. She didn't have a clue that later on in life that I would be me. You know what I'm saying? Like 50 Cent said on that song, I'm the man. She didn't have no clue that I would be me. She thought I was gonna remain that little broke dude with the 8 kids, from my mom and no dad and yada yada yada. Well, some of these dudes who are 5s right now is going to probably elevate in the next 5 or 10 years, and you're going to probably still be in the same condition. Kanye West said that it's the dishes next week, and then it's the fries the week after. It's always something. It's always going to be something going on with somebody else, and we never take the time to look at ourselves. So, this podcast today, the Godcast, is really on when will I fix me? I would say instead of looking for the 7-figure man, take a year off and try to fix yourself. Say, you know what, I'm gonna fix myself so I can become a seven-figure woman to attract a seven-figure man. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna speak to the women straight and forward, okay? Because we get deep in our Godcast, okay? Women, um, this may sound bad, and I hope y'all don't get mad at me, but most of these men, if y'all look around, you look online, Shannon Sharp, prime example, seven-figure man. Look what he just did. Wrecked himself behind a younger. Most of these men that's older, that's seven figures and all that, when they do want a woman, they're going to find them a 25-year-old. Okay, let's keep it 100. They are going to get a younger woman. I'm not saying it's right to do. I'm not saying it's okay to do. But all you got to do is look online, and you will see for your own self what's going on. They go get them a young girl. You know why they go get them a young girl? Because they want to train her. They want to coach her. They want to manipulate her mind. They want to do whatever. And they're going to have a bunch of problems with that young girl, but that's what they want. Supposedly the sex is better, yada, yada, yada. So this is what these older guys are doing. I counsel these guys. The guy I just told you. I had a 60-year-old guy I was talking, 66 years old, talking to him the other day, and he come up here with a 40-something-year-old woman, so I see it all the time. Or they'll be 70 with a 30-year-old. They're constantly going down, down, down. Children, women that's old enough to be their granddaughters, not just their daughters, their granddaughters. So these seven-figure men are going lower and lower. So I'm not saying that y'all women need to go get y'all no YNs, but what I am saying is that when you pick a man, pick somebody that's going to love you for you, somebody that's going to treat you right, respect you, somebody that loves the Lord, somebody that's in church. There's so many things that he can have as an attribute that maybe if you just encouraged him, he would go to the top. I'm going to speak for myself. Let me put me on the palace. In the beginning of my marriage, man, I was I was a booger. In the beginning of my marriage, I was a booger, man. I was doing everything. Man, I still was living the life like I was a drug dealer. So I had a bunch of women. I was doing everything. And good thing I had a praying wife, because I would come home mad at the women in the streets. The wife ain't did nothing. But I'm mad at the women in the street, and all she would do is she knew. Come on, man. Y'all think these women don't know what y'all doing? Y'all little dumb Negroes. I hate to tell you like this. You think these women don't know what you're doing? These women know your smell. She know when you're sleeping at night. She know everything about you. So when you come home smelling like another girl, she know you done been cheating. Come on now, man. Let's keep it a buck. So the bottom line is, women have intuition, man. They know. They ain't stupid. My wife would just come. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm angry. I'm mad at some other heifer in the street that made me mad. So if she wouldn't say nothing, all she would do would come and she'll put her hands on my back and just begin to pray. Lord, bless my husband. Whatever he got going on in the street, yada, 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 Lord, just touch him. She didn't come arguing. She didn't come running her mouth. She didn't come the Bible says that love conquers a multitude of sin. So you want that man to be what you want him to be, you can't make him what you need to be. Prayer can. So she used to pray on me, and all I would do is sit there and cry. Because I'm like, man, I can't believe I'm doing this to this woman. I'm cheating. I got all these doggone women and doing this and that. And this woman is a good woman to me, man. And eventually, I had to fix my life, man, through prayer, man, and fasting and seeking God more. So I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, but I am saying that if you're going to get you the right man, you better learn to pray on him. You better learn to pray on him and pray for him. And you better learn to keep your mouth closed. Stop nagging him so much, because the Bible speaks about a nagging woman in the book of Proverbs. It says that it's better for a man to be in a house with a leaking rooftop than to be in a house with a nagging woman. So, you know what I'm saying? So all that nagging you doing and complaining and fussing and this and that, he no good, you ain't going to find no husband. You're going to find just what you got, a sorry Negro. Let me promote to you today. We got house leveling. If y'all need a foundation repair done, things like that, we offer that. You can look at my page. You'll see we have foundation repair. We're getting ready. We think of opening a restaurant, so we will need the people that want to sponsor or people that want to invest. I am looking into that. I got two people right now want to invest $10,000 a piece, so we're looking into that right now. And then also Spotify. We're going to be on Apple Music, but on Spotify, we on there right now, live and direct. So go to Spotify, man. Look up the Godcast channel, man, Spotify. You'll see us on that. And then also YouTube. Go to my YouTube page, and click subscribe and share. You can listen to me while you're driving, man. You ain't gotta be watching all the time. While you're driving, you can check me out, man. Let hear what I'm saying. Also Twitch. You can go to Twitch and get on my Twitch at Ask Al Terry Henry. At Ask Al Terry Henry. I'm on Twitch, on Facebook, Instagram. I'm everywhere. So that way you can't miss me, man. Like I said, we're gonna come back because we're gonna have a part 2 of this. I want to talk to y'all women and men. And if you subscribe for 3 months on Twitch, man, you get 3 months on Duolingo. You get 3 months on Duolingo, and I'm gonna put it in the clip so you can see it. But you get 3 months by subscribing to me on Twitch. Go to tier 3 on Twitch and subscribe, and you get 3 months free. So anyway, we gonna have a part 2 of this, man. We got a lot to talk about on relationships. I want y'all to ask questions so that way when we come back on the next podcast, you can ask questions. Probably tomorrow. We can ask questions and we're gonna answer your questions. Y'all be blessed, man.